The anime begins with an intense and chaotic scene of destruction as a powerful supernatural entity wreaks havoc on the city. The government has established an organization known as the Japanese Ministry of Defense's Paranormal Disaster Countermeasure Headquarters, which is summoned to eliminate kashas and ghosts, paranormal Category B beast-like beings, and Category C human-like beings that are only visible to a few and are vulnerable to holy water, scriptures, and blessed weapons. This division is responsible for dealing with supernatural threats and protecting the public from these malevolent entities. Toru, Natsuki, and the rest of their unit arrive to kill and save the day because they have better equipment and arsenal. Meanwhile, the higher-ups are not pleased that their division was almost massacred and aren't too happy that the 1st Platoon of the 4th Special Division, under the leadership of Kiryu Kanparu of the Ministry of Environment, won the battle because now their unit is like a laughing stock. Just when the 4th is about to pick up the pieces, they receive another distress call of another appearance of Category B appearing in another part of the city. Although there are barriers around it, it won't hold much longer. Standard protocol means they need to use holy water and then finish it off with many bullets. But according to Mami Izumi's calculation, 200 tons of water are needed for that exorcism. As suggested by Kanparu, if they cannot carry the water, bring it to the source. So while the unit has done all the necessary setup, Natsuki leads the monster into a giant water shaft. Once she is in position, Toru is supposed to snipe. However, a butterfly distraction has missed him, and this puts Natsuki in danger. She is injured, and although the monster is taken care of, the shaft is about to burst with water. Luckily, the other guys got them out. With the mission complete and the team resting, suddenly they are attached to Category of the 4th Special Division operatives are massacred by a katana-wielding woman. Mami got possessed and shot Kanparu in the head before turning the gun on herself. Toru remembers the tragedy whereby his girlfriend turned into a ghoul and he was forced to shoot her. It looks like he would be meeting her in the afterlife as he got his head sliced by a katana-wielding woman. The disposal unit is stuck in a gridlocked traffic jam. But Screw is trying to be secretive, so they ram through the traffic to get to the scene where another Category B is running rampage. After luring it into a trap, they let Kagura Tsuchimiya finish it off. The higher-ups are discussing the high casualties tonight. It basically means their forces are as good as eliminated. While trying to reel from this embarrassment, Ayami, the Chief Minister of Environment, and her secretary, Kiri, come to forcefully have both sides cooperate with each other. Had they done this from the start, things wouldn't have turned out so badly. She reveals information and the map of the Kanto area where Category of spiritual disturbances are spreading. While the medics are picking up the corpses of 1st Special Division commandos, they suddenly turn into Category D zombies and start attacking. The disposal unit goes into action, but then they are shocked to see Yomi and her Ga-Rei new before them. She was once their comrade but went missing. Now she is classified as Category A and must be annihilated. Yomi leaves the zombies to play with them. The boss allows Kagura and Noriyuki Izuna to go after Yomi. They split up to look for her in the underground tunnel. Kagura is attacked by Yomi, though the former tries her best not to fight her. When she is forced to do so, Kagura bests her. Because she is her old friend, Kagura is unable to kill her even when dared. For this reason, Yomi cannot forgive her and still hates her. Yomi fights back and spurns Kagura to do the same when she badmouths Noriyuki as a coward. Kagura thought she could kill her via a pipe explosion, but Yomi is not Category A for nothing. Kagura is caught by Nu. Yomi is upset when Kagura still calls her sister and then slashes her. Time to go back 3 years to when they first met. Kagura's parents are very powerful and famous exorcists, but a mission gone wrong has caused her mother to die on duty. Thus, her father has to oversee things like inheriting the Ga-Rei Byakuji that she had and leaving the care of the branch family to Naraku Isayama, Yomi's father. Thus, Yomi is assigned to support Kagura from the shadows. Yomi is quite lively and friendly, but you can't blame Kagura for not feeling like doing anything except training, which is what she has always done. The girls quickly bond, drawn to each other by Kagura's pain over losing her mother. Yomi has a deep sense of duty towards her family, and she wants Kagura to address her as her sister. As much as Yomi wants to be with Kagura, sometimes she receives calls for a job. This leaves Kagura sad because her words eerily echo like her mother and now she is dead. Feeling bad, Yomi decides to bring her along and let her see what they do. She is introduced to her unit in the disposal unit, consisting of Noriyuki, Kuji Iwahara, Kazuki Sakuraba, and twins Nabu and Nabu. Yes, they both share the same name and you can't tell them apart, either. Yomi might regret a little bringing Kagura along since Iwahara gives her a special sword, Michael 12. After the mission, Yomi gets an earful from her father to never do such things again. Kagura felt bad, and in view of this, Yomi gives her a bracelet as a charm since she can't follow her on the job. Yomi explains that she personally requested to look after Kagura because she always wanted a little sister. She revealed to Kagura that she was adopted by the Asayama family, but since he treats her like his own daughter, she wants to return his feelings. Therefore, she will inherit her fate as the family's exorcist, the reason for her existence. The SDCD operatives are dispatched to eliminate a giant spider that appeared out of town. When Yomi kills the Category B spirit, Kagura saves a woman from being crushed by its body, a civilian who could not only see the spirit but who is also a witness of the team's entire operation. Yomi knows this woman was trying to commit suicide. She is advised to not waste her life. Yomi and Kagura are later called out to an old subway tunnel, where they encounter the same woman, now a vengeful spirit after having killed herself by jumping in front of a train, together with a group of spirits of other dead people. Kagura is hesitant to kill them because they were once humans. Luckily, Kagura's father arrives to save them by using the Ga-Rei spirit Byakui upon Kagura's inability to purify the dead humans. In the aftermath, Kagura gets lectured by her father about fulfilling her responsibilities as an exorcist. All is not gloom, as he tells her to become stronger. Naraku gives Yomi his wife's dress, and she is happy to receive it. He also wants to talk to her about her engagement to Noriyuki. He knows they don't like each other, but if this continues, those involved will be hurt. He wants to hear her feelings, because he has raised her like his own daughter and for the sake of improving both families, she sees no reason to object and accepts this marriage. At the SDCD headquarters, Kagura could smell perfume on Yomi and teases she is going out on a date with Noriyuki. But when that guy enters, he mocks the smell. Kagura covers for her and says it is her perfume. Noriyuki gives some advice to not put so much, or she'll smell like some old lady, so Yomi splashes coffee over him. When he realizes the perfume is from her, he thinks she is pushing it on Kagura. The duo summons their beast, ready to fight, but Ayami puts a stop to it. Yu, Naraku's younger brother, is against him handing over to Yomi, who is the next heir. Though Yu has no right, as he abandoned the family mission long ago, he simply doesn't want it to go to outsiders. After all, he has his own daughter, Mei. But Mei doesn't wish for him to stand up for her, as Yomi has earned the trust of others. Kagura gathers the disposal unit to form a plan to bring Noriyuki and Yomi close. Her plan is to have them act as ruffians, attack her, and let Noriyuki save the day. But Ayami has a better plan. She sends Kiri to meet with Noriyuki, and when Yomi comes by, she starts flirting with him to make her jealous. Yomi then buys a can to throw it at him. Then it descends into a big quarrel before they start slapping each other. Before it gets worse, Kagura comes, pleading in tears to stop. She apologizes, this is her fault, and she just wanted to see them get along. They feel bad, but Kagura wants to see them make up with a kiss. Noriyuki is willing to do it, but Yomi isn't, and Judo throws him. That night, Yomi dresses up and talks to Noriyuki like mature adults. They wonder if they can quarrel like this forever. A host of Category D monsters appear more and more frequently, and the SDCD team has their hands full with their purification, including Kagura, who for the first time is in the field by herself. They manage to defeat it. Thanks to Mei, the task is solved, but Mei lectures them about inheritance qualifications. Mei is looking for the culprit who is unleashing high-level spirits in the vicinity. She finds herself suddenly facing Kazuhiro Maedagawa, a white-haired boy, accompanied by a swarm of blue butterflies. They start to fight, but the difference in their power is so far apart that, with no effort whatsoever, he pierces her with her own weapon. He reads her heart, which contains jealousy, anger, hatred, loathing, and pride. At the same time, Kagura's friends are staying late at school when they witness a murder. They try to hide from the killer, but when they are caught up, Kagura saves them. At first, she was hesitant and in shock to see the school nurse being controlled by a latcher, a mind-controlling Category D, to protect her classmates. Kagura is forced to kill the school nurse, who only hours before had cared for her, which causes great turmoil in her emotions. Mei, pierced by her own spear, stands up after having been touched by a blue butterfly. Her mortal wound has vanished. The disposal unit cleans up the school. Kagura is obviously shaken, but her friend seems less merciful as she seeks an explanation of everything. As Kagura's mental state isn't stable, she is given time off to heal together with Yomi, who should support her in this difficult moment. Then, when she visits the former school nurse's grave, Her friend appears and continues to be mad at her. She is pissed that Kagura is crying at her grave, despite the fact that she is the one who killed her. She dares Kagura to kill her next. It gets worse when Kagura doesn't say anything, and then she tells her to just hit her if she feels like it. And suddenly, all of them came to their senses and decided it was time to let the tears flow with a big hug. At the same time, Yomi's father summons his brother and Mei to inform them that he will soon pass on his role as head of the Isayama family to Yomi. His brother reluctantly accepts his wish, although he speaks hard words to Yomi to make sure she is aware of the honor and responsibilities that come with being entrusted with Shishio. After they left, Mei returned alone without her father. After a sparring session in which Yomi realizes that Kagura is going to surpass her very soon, the two girls part ways, with Kagura meeting her classmates and Yomi meeting with Noriyuki. When Kagura arrives home, she finds something odd. As nobody is home, she looks around, and to her horror, she finds Yumi's father in a pool of blood. After calling the ambulance, Kagura waits for Yomi to return. At the hospital, Yomi gets scolded by Yu about her whereabouts since she is difficult to contact. However, Mei tells Yomi to say goodbye to her father first. Reality hits Yomi hard when she confirms his father's dead body. At Yomi's father's funeral and before the whole clan, Yomi's uncle declares himself head of the family and that Mei will carry on the role of the vanquisher against his late brother's wishes. Yomi protests that this isn't father's will, and Yu fires back at her for not being able to protect her father and for flirting with a guy during that time. Yomi is forced to hand over Shishio to Mei, along with her own place in the family, her room, and even her proximity to Kagura, who is asked to leave the family home, now the property of Yomi's uncle. As Mei celebrates in possessing Shishio, suddenly visions that she was killed flash through her mind. She is suddenly fraught with guilt over what she has done. Dismayed, she runs out, and under the rain, she meets Kazuhiro again. She realizes that not only was what has happened her true wish, but also that she has no other choice but to give up her humanity since she has already sustained such severe injuries that her life would not be possible otherwise. At the same time, both a powerful Category B and a powerful Category A appear, and the team is called into action. This is the first time the SDCD team has been in contact with the PDCH. Yomi also leaves home, taking Kagura's katana and driving to find and confront Mei, having realized that something is definitely wrong with her. During their fight, Yomi realizes that Mei is no longer human and that she is protected by a Sesshosuke stone that was given to her by Kazuhiro to restore her body. Mei then goes on an angry rant about how she is jealous of Yomi. Because Naraku took no one in, the privileges that should have been hers went to Yomi. That is why she hated Naraku for it, and she admits she killed him. Mei is about to kill Yomi when she starts bleeding everywhere. In that confusion, Yomi overwhelms her to get the upper hand. Mei then reverts to her original self. She pleads for her life, but Yomi is filled with hatred and kills her. Shortly, Mei is confronted with Kazuhiro. He explains that he didn't turn Mei so but merely pushed her in the direction where her true feelings were, which is what he will do with her. And he unleashes a rain of spikes that pierce Yomi all over her body. After being forced out of the fight against Category B by the PDCH, the SDCD team is sent where Category A is supposed to be, only to find Yomi gravely injured. Yomi is rushed to the hospital, where she remains in a coma for 2 whole months. Her body has suffered many injuries, but none of her vital organs were hit, although most of her tendons and her larynx have been severed. When she wakes up, her prognosis is that she will never be able to live a normal life again, nor will she be able to speak. The head of SDCD gently questions Yomi about the death of Mei, but it is difficult to communicate what truly happened due to her condition and the turmoil the killing has left Yomi in. Her uncle accuses her of having killed Mei because Yomi lost her position in the family and the right to carry Shishio, which he takes from her once again. He backs down when Kagura intervenes. Noriyuki's father dissolves the engagement and forces his son to forget about her, both because of the responsibility he has towards his family and to avoid having to spend his life next to someone with such serious physical disabilities. Yomi receives news when Noriyuki's father visits her at the hospital that she is no longer engaged to his son. Kagura visits her and says everyone in the agency suspects her of killing Mei, but Kagura solely believes she wouldn't kill Mei out of hatred. Later that night, Kagura leaves while crying. It is right at that time when Kazuhiro appears and offers her the Sesshosuke stone that will heal her broken body and grant her wishes, but only those born from hate. For Yomi, that offer is impossible to resist. Kagura, after regaining her resolve to be at Yomi's side, goes back to her hospital room only to find it empty. Kagura goes into breakdown mode when she tells HQ about Yomi's disappearance. The team is called to take care of Category B in the city while wondering what has happened with Yomi. The call finds Noriyuki investigating the site where Yomi was found. His plan is to find out who hurt her, re-establish her name, and go back to her no matter what his father says. From what he finds at the site, he comes to the conclusion that someone is orchestrating everything that's been happening in the last several months, when spiritual beings of all kinds have been appearing more and more. Meanwhile, Yomi, making her appearance as her healthy, katana-wielding self, got Shishio back by killing her uncle. The timeline reaches the first event of the appearance of the monster, which the city destroys. Noriyuki and Kagura followed Yumi in the service tunnels below ground. They split up, and Yomi shows up before Noriyuki with Ranguren by her side, holding a wounded Kazuki in its fangs. He throws a spike at Nori and tells him to kill her. She tells him to kill her over and over again while torturing Kazuki until she eventually kills him. Nori is frozen in horror, not able to believe the Yomi in front of him is the person he loves, unable to find the strength to kill her. Yomi leaves a shocked Nori behind and goes to find Kagura in the other tunnel. They fight briefly and blow up the tunnel. When Kagura resurfaces, Yomi is already there to face her, and Ranguren also traps her in her fangs. Yomi is ready to slash her with Shishio, while Kagura, in disbelief, can only ask why. Over and over again when Kagura's father appears. The Ga-Rei beasts fight each other. Kagura's father manages to pin Yomi down. All that is left is for Kagura to do what is necessary, but she hesitates. Because of that, Yomi orders Nu to attack her, and her father has no choice but to use Byakuya to protect Kagura. In turn, he receives the inflicted damage, and Yomi cuts him down. She couldn't finish him since Kiri became her opponent. However, Yomi's Sessaoseki starts acting up, so she abandons the fight. It's no use for Kagura to regret what happened. Her father is now in the ICU. Similarly, Noriyuki falls into depression, blaming himself for being like a vegetable. Yomi seems to be regretting what she has done. She tries to kill herself, but her body has some sort of barrier. Kagura's father gets weaker as Byakuya tries to set him free. Knowing he has not much time left, he tells Kagura the truth. All heirs in the Tsuchiya family have short lives. This means Kagura too will die young. Because he doesn't know how long he will live, he wanted Kagura to mature fast, hence the harsh training since he was young. Meanwhile, Ayami and what's left of the disposal unit confront Yomi. Ayami shows us why she kicks ass, as her wheelchair is filled with high-tech weaponry. In the end, this is the damage report. Kiri gets stabbed, one of the Nabu twins gets eaten by Nu, and Iwahara gets blinded. And still, no scratch on Yomi. Kagura's father feels his time is up and passes the seal to Kagura, which she reluctantly must accept. It's time to grow up. After Kagura embeds it, Michael sees her and gives her the upgraded Michael 13 sword. Her only task now, dealing with Yomi. Thanks to intel from surviving PDCH members, Kagura and the remaining SDCD members pursue Yomi with the intent of stopping her once and for all. Iwahara and Nabu fend off the ghouls and zombies to let Kagura face Yomi. Before the two girls face off, Kagura apologizes to Yomi for not having fully been by her side when she needed it the most, allowing her to be vulnerable to Kazuhiro's offer. The two summoned their beasts and fought. While Yomi overwhelms Kagura and then brags about those she killed, she mocks the death of Kagura's father because it means Kagura gets to possess the most powerful Ga-Rei. This makes Kagura mad and able to fight back, but she is still no match. Noriyuki appears to assist Kagura in retreating after being wounded. Noriyuki has realized that the person facing them is no longer Yomi. This helps Kagura make one of the hardest choices she ever made, kill the person she considered her sister. Kagura meets up with Yomi again for another fight. This time, their clashing is a convenient tool for reminiscing about their good times. Yomi narrates that her true wish is Kagura. She wants to be protected from everything, even if it means eliminating herself. At this point, Kagura is able to stab Yomi. Yomi praises how strong she has become and apologizes for all that has happened. When Yomi truly dies, the surrounding Category D zombies will be the least of Kagura's problems. In fact, she is filled with rage as she summons Byakuya to devour all of them. It looks like for the first time she is doing her exorcist job seriously. Kazuhiro notes how one emotion was enough to turn everything upside down. He is unsure if Yomi's emotions were strong enough to overcome Sessaoseki or if Sessaoseki really granted her wish. Either way, he is in no rush and will wait for the right time. 2 years later, Ayami takes care of Kiri, who has a childlike state of mind. Iwahara and Nabu are working their asses off under a new old hag boss. Noriyuki becomes some hippie fortune teller. Kegura's friends never knew what happened to her and she is classified as missing. In reality, she is going around doing her exorcism role and she has a moody youngster as her disciple whom she passed her Michael 12 to. The two prepare to face a large spirit at the Tokyo Tower. The anime ends here. Thank you for watching till the end and please don't forget to subscribe.